Hello people, welcome to another episode. Today we're talking about the title deed. What are the things that the buyer should know about the title deed? Everybody should understand that a title deed comes with restrictive conditions. So it's important that you understand what those restrictive conditions mean and how do you remove them. So today we're touching on those issues and I hope you learn something out of this episode. Thank you. Hi good people, welcome to my space. This is another episode of Property Talk _Ucacisa. Today we're talking about a title deed. I'm coming back to this topic because I've been receiving comments and questions around into the title deed. People are still not sure what you do the title deed. Why is it so important to know the restrictive conditions of the property that you're about to buy? Why it's so important in the title deed. So today I'm just going to lay it down and be clear in terms of what it is, why it's so important for you to have access to that copy of a title deed before you even sign the offer to purchase, or even before the process of a property being transferred to your name, to know what are conditions imposed to the property that you are potentially to buy. Okay, secondly, also I'm going to touch on in terms of how do you access it. Because sometimes, yes, we talk about these things, but you must have this, you must have access to this, you must understand this and that and that. But you don't understand how do I access it before even the property is transferred to your name? Because remember, look, the title deed, it only becomes your copy once the deeds office has transferred the property to igama lakho. So okay, let me start on what it is. Firstly, a title deed is that legal copy that proves you own a particular property. So in that copy, it will have the F number of the property, the address, and your name. So if when you have a property and you don't have a title deed, it was never registered the property to igama lakho, that means you don't own the property. Simple as that. Secondly, why it is important that you know the conditions that are imposed to property yako, the restrictive conditions. Along remember, any condition that are imposed to property yako, those conditions will limit you for developing that property. So it will become like a limitation in terms of developmental rights as ako. So in property valuation, you have something, the highest best use of property yako. So if there are conditions as property yako, as a restrictor for you to develop that property, then we will say that those conditions are not in favor of a property owner to actually utilize their developmental rights in that property. So, thirdly, also what is important is that you understand what are some of those conditions that you might find in that copy of a title deed. Conditions will find there is such as servitude, and also you'll find that there are conditions relating to town and planning. So in terms of its servitude, you'll find that there is a condition with servitude. That there is a servitude that runs to your property. So meaning if you have a servitude, it means that somebody has access, there's the access rights to your property. So it could be municipality have an access right in terms of property, or it could be adjacent property that have an access right to over your property. So that condition, unfortunately, when it comes to municipal servitude, you can't remove it because you find out there are services that runs to your property, and it's not like you can just say, I don't want any services in municipality. Servitude, you find out there is a condition with servitude. That there is a servitude that runs to your property. So meaning if you have a servitude, it means that somebody has access, there's the access rights to your property. So it could be municipality have the access right in terms of property, or it could be adjacent property that have an access right to over your property. So that condition, unfortunately, when it comes to municipal servitude, you can't remove it because you find out there are services that runs to your property, and it's not like you can just say, I don't want any services in municipality. And then when it comes to the town planning conditions, those conditions, you'll find it will be specific in terms of the external walls, the color of external walls. It will be specific in terms of what type of land uses that is allowed in that property. And also they would also even have conditions such as building lines. In this property, you can only build up to 5 meters, street building line, side building line, back rear building line, and so forth. So there are those conditions that will be listed in that title deed. So for those town planning conditions, to remove them, obviously you have to appoint a town planner, and the town planner will combine an application that will go to the municipality, and if it is approved, then those conditions will be removed. Okay, so you find the case now you're buying a property and you know it's important that you have access to this document before the property is transferred to your name. How do you access it? It's important that you include a condition in the offer to purchase to state that you would like to have a copy of the title deed of the property so that you can review it and you make an informed decision. So the transfer attorneys, before even they process the application, they will have to request a title deed of that property that you're about to buy from the deeds office, and then it will be issued to you so that you can see what conditions that are there imposed with that property that you're about to buy. So that we as okay, if I'm buying this property, there is a condition of a servitude to the property, or there is the restrictive conditions as the property in relation to town planning. So that we decide, okay, am I buying this property with this condition, or do I state to before even I buy this property and be transferred your name, that the seller remove those conditions? Those things you can state them in the offer to purchase. It's upon to the seller to say, no, I'm not signing this contract. I can't able to meet these conditions that the buyer has stated in the contract. So okay, those are the things that you need to know when it comes to title deed, because guys, the title deed, it's very important. It's a legal document. So once you buy a property that has restrictive conditions and that property is already transferred to your name, there is nothing that you can do except remove those conditions. And doesn't mean that all conditions can be removed from a title deed. And also you can even ask yourself, does the conditions have an impact on the value of your property? In some cases, when it comes to a servitude, that is a servitude right over your property, it actually can have an impact in your value of your property, because most people, they don't want to buy a property that have a servitude. So it will have, and even the town planning conditions, that will even have an impact to your value of your property, because if it says that you can't have a second dwelling, that means if you're planning to build flats and extend and expand your property so that you can boost up your value, then it's going to have an impact, basically, because you can't actually be able to build those units that you're planning to build in the future. So that's why I'm saying title deed, it's important that you know what is stated there in the conditions of a title deed, so that whatever that you buy, you are informed, you know what is there. At the end of the day, I didn't know. And if the offer to purchase has been signed, has been processed, and the transfer attorney has sent the documents to the deeds office and the property has been transferred to your name, unfortunately, you buy as it is. It's full stool. Okay, let me leave it there for today. I hope that somebody or whoever that is listening will understand that and I was clear enough. But however, if was not clear enough, if you have more questions, more clarity, just leave a comment on the comment section and ask you, can you elaborate more on what you have just stated? Thank you guys for liking my page, and thank you for following my page. Thank you so much for subscribing also to my page. And for those who don't subscribe, please do subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless.